matchup, as we talked about, Chris. You know, Seattle Thunder, really interesting. You know, they're coming in here. There's 4 teams basically that are coming in hot as far as being new to this league. And you know, Thunder played World Cup, so it's not their first time here. But you know, it's awesome that Corey Field has basically been able to assemble another team coming out of the Pacific Northwest. And you know, the Pacific Northwest has been has had some powerhouse teams over the years, and so it's cool to see another one of those teams coming in. Now they're playing against Aftershock, and Aftershock is going to be you know, again, complete rebuild for Aftershock, and I'm really going to be interested to see what happens with those guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how. I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched up. It should be a pretty decent game.
Yeah, you're looking at Thunder.
Already a major penalty on Aftershock. Wow.
Yeah, not the way you want to start the season.
I don't know exactly what to say.
That is not the way you want to start the season. And so Aftershock going to have to do some time in that box, as they have, looks like 3 players left alive to Thunder's 4. No, it looks like it's 3-on-3, Chris.
Yeah, but Aftershock with that major penalty right out of the gates.
That Aftershock player, too, didn't even run to the box. He started heading towards his pit, had to run back and get in the box for the penalty to start. So a couple of extra seconds wasted there. Thunder drops a couple bodies.
Yeah, and as far as who would be favored in this particular matchup, you know, and this, we talked about this year is wide open, man. It's really like who wants it the most. Yeah, because you know, both of these teams, you know, Thunder is trying to put something together, and that's great. And Aftershock, after having complete destruction in the offseason, you know, they're still here, still around. I talked to Rennick about this whole thing, and Rennick Miller was like, "Look, we've had 100 guys play for Aftershock over the years. The team's been around for 20 years, and we're going to continue to be around. May take us a little bit of time to get back in the swing of things, but you know, we're going to try to field the best guys we possibly can and make something happen." And right now we're sitting, it looks like 2-on-3.
They're grinding down this penalty though, Matty. I mean, they're down to what, 56 seconds on the major.
Yeah, they definitely didn't see the Thunder player move into the snake, and he took out the player on the Dorito side, leaving it a 2-on-3. But grinding out this penalty is going to be huge for
guys,
them.
we were talking about that 15-year-old pro. This is him right here, Nico Perry, which is, I think, a great name for a paintball player.
Yep.
So Nico Perry here, 15 years old, playing pro. He's the youngest pro out here by far, I think. I don't think there's, yeah, not even close. So here he is. Here comes Nico Perry, and he's going to run down and trade out with Aftershock. Nico looks good, man. He looks fluid.
Yeah, I like
15.
it. I like it.
Good start for
and
Nico
he's real
Perry.
fast.
And
you know, Aftershock losing to the last player, but 15 seconds left in on this penalty. Let's see if they can recognize that.
So Olsvik and
Just
Perry over here.
No, I don't.
7 seconds. I mean,
and it's
he'll just run it in.
Jordan Knight's going to run it in. And so, yeah, Knight hangs the flag with 3 seconds left on that. But that's good, though, because, you know, when you're in a situation like that, even the 3 seconds is going to keep that one less gun on you on the break.
Right.
You know, so
and that makes a difference.
Yeah, and you have to make that mental decision. You're like, well, okay, do I stop and shoot this and torch the guys coming out? You're going to get them. But I'd rather have the 20% less gun power on the opposing team.
I think it all depends who it is. I think some of these people I want to come out of the box.
You think so?
Oh, I would want them to come out. I mean, like, there's some of the people that I owe. Just I have a mental checklist.
I was gonna say just for the mental checklist.
I'm like, hey,
who's still on that list for you?
Aaron Thaw is gonna get it sooner or later this year. I'm telling you right now, he definitely needs dental insurance, and he will probably need a new hearing.
You know who I love to death? I love him to death. He's one of my boys. I always love him, but for some reason, anytime we would play Dynasty, and you know, I would always be one of the last guys left alive, and I'd stand up and I'd get shot, you know, whatever, you guys are closing the game out, and I'd get hit in the back, and I'd be Johnny Perchek. Johnny Perchek. And I'd just be like, really, Johnny? Really? Seriously? Like, come on, man. Sorry, Matty. Sorry. I'm like, God, dude, come on.
And as he's waving to you sorry, he's smiling the whole time.
It's like, okay. So, yeah, so even though me and Johnny play on the meat hammers together occasionally,
the meat hammers.
He might get a couple on the back of his head one of these days.
Yeah. Like you're talking about, like when the whole Glenn Takamoto thing earlier, I would have blew Yoshi's head off. Absolutely. Yep, it's prime opportunity. And he's like, you can get away with it. They're like, hey, I was shooting him running you down.
See, Yosh is like the opposite. I don't think Yosh ever bonus balled me once, and we played against each other for a decade.
Dude, he's one of the nicest guys ever. Plus, he's sick, so I might give him that one.
Yeah, Yosh is fighting through the sickness.
Yosh is a sneaky ninja. Don't let the cool, calm demeanor fool you.
Good game here right now. Aftershock and Seattle Thunder. Aftershock coming out of the box. Major penalty.
Yeah,
seconds
right out the gate, too. First, I mean, that was like the first 2 seconds of the game.
I know.
All right, so here we go. And it's Aftershock starting with 4 bodies. But they get their guy out immediately, though, after that 3 seconds came off. And here comes Thunder. Thunder now losing a body off the break. And they make good progress. So look at this, though. Aftershock all the way up to the A off the break.
He knows he's there. He came to go get him, but he got shut down. I can only imagine he's going to go get him as soon as possible. Let's see how Thunder players looking for the move right now.
So, Chris, you know, as somebody that's your move, you run up to the center and shoot people. Talk me through that. Like, is that something you think that was that an audible for them? Was that a set play? What do you think?
You know, it looked like he was going to the
it
looked like he was going to the camp, but I think he's Seattle Thunder down to 3 players right now. I think his ultimate move is to get up there, shut down that Dorito side of the field. I was never very good at that. You know, I go up there, I try to turn the corner, and then I just run down the field. If nobody stops me, you know, the first thing I try to do is go. He's going to come get him right now.
Oh, look at this dive through the center.
Great
that was an amazing move. Very athletic. He went right underneath the A. Oh, that was an awesome job by Seattle Thunder. As he
here
went,
comes a flag. Here comes a minor penalty on Aftershock now.
But you saw that move. I mean, he went left-handed on the jog, ducked down, and that guy looks like he's pretty tall. Was able to torch the guy left-handed and then switched hands, shot the back player, and that guy got a penalty. Great move.
Great. It was an awesome move. I mean, that was a pretty big dude for sliding through the A like that.
He made it look good.
He did make it look good. You know, and again, Aftershock getting that was an uncalled for penalty. The guy runs him down. If he trades out with you, he trades out. Get off the field.
Yeah, so J.J. Roth hanging that flag for Thunder, and Thunder looks good right now. I'll tell you what, that was the most athletic move I've seen so far this event. And this Nico Perry kid, he's incredibly fast. He looks real athletic out there. And
I enjoyed that. Absolutely. Yeah, I enjoyed that game, actually. I mean, I like Aftershock's aggressiveness, getting up there in the A, shutting that side down. I thought they were in good field position. They kind of doubled up over there on the Dorito side. The guy got clipped going to Dorito 1. He had a backup at that tower.
Well, it's definitely an interesting call to see Aftershock take that A starting down a body, too. You know, I mean, usually, you know, when you're starting with 4 bodies, you kind of want to try and spread it out, you know, but they knew that they were going to have their body come back in 3 seconds anyway. But, you know, talking about guys like Nico Perry, you know, this Seattle Thunder team, you know, a lot of these players that we're not familiar with, a whole new Aftershock team. It's any one of these guys' opportunity to step up and play big and be like, I'm going to be the guy that people recognize from this team.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to be that guy? The player that actually ran up to the A is a name that we might want to remember. I actually coached this kid at a clinic one time. His name is Kirk Wozni. You know, incredibly talented player. You know, the first time I see him play and really get to work with him, you know, he's pretty modest. He's a smart player. He's got great gun skills. I mean, I watched him win some 3-on-1s, a 4-on-1, you know, and I thought that he might have gotten a chance last year to step up. But with all the talent on the Midwest, you know, there just wasn't room for him on any rosters. But now that, you know, some of those players came to Infamous, some of them went to Heat, you know, he's going to get an opportunity this year. You know, so, I mean, that could be one of the guys. You know, Nico Perry over here, Kirk Wozni on this side.
Yeah.
Granted, his first pro point, he's playing down a body. He's got to run to the end.
Yeah. All right, hey, kid, here's your chance. You're running off the 50 off the break. Oh, by the way, we're down a body on a major penalty. All right, here we go. Score is now 2-0, and look at this on the run out as Aftershock's able to get out alive. They double up that back center, and then now trying to fill out on the Dorito side. Big dig out to the back corner, and he makes it out alive. So it's a 5-on-5 right now, Chris.
That's a good move by Aftershock, getting out there in the break. You know, Seattle Thunder chilling out a little bit, you know, making some quick little bumps. He's going to go to that 50 Dorito and just get blown to pieces because he doesn't know that guy moved up.
And here comes Thunder.
Oh, actually, he made it through that little cut right there.
Yeah, I think that might actually be Kirk Wozni.
Nicky Cuba coming through in the clutch with socks and a jacket. Thank you, Nicky Cuba. Love you to death. Good field position right now by Aftershock. You know, they're making good crisp moves. Let's hope they can keep it together without getting any penalties. Seattle Thunder kind of chilling out right now.
Yeah, Thunder right now, I mean, they got the lead, and look at this. Here comes Olsvik, and now he's in the snake. I like what I'm seeing out of Thunder. These guys are they're not scared to make moves.
No, but still 5-on-5, Matty, isn't it? Oh, no, right there. Seattle Thunder losing their back. 2 players right now.
So Olsvik's going to have to, he's got to clock in right now.
He doesn't know the Aftershock got to his Dorito, though.
Yeah, he doesn't really, he got a great shot on there. Now, finally, I think he picked him up.
No,
he's going to get it back.
He's going to wear it.
Matty, I think that's Davey Simmons down there for Aftershock. He's actually been around a little bit.
Perry trying to get
Yeah, and he's going to have a tall order over here in this little bunker because he's getting pinched out from that side, from the Dorito side of the field, and yeah, he finally gets taken out. So here comes Aftershock. They're trying to get on the board.
You know, good for them. I like seeing this. Like I said, these two teams are pretty evenly matched. I think it's going to be a better game when there's no penalties. Hopefully they can stay out of the penalty box. That's number 32. Let's find out who that is real quick. Number 32, that's Cody Mikowski. He's a seasoned professional player.
Yeah, and Cody, one of those players that's left over from all the chaos in the offseason.
I think he's the only one.
I think AJ Lawhead is still around
he is
too.
back. And also Tristan Brown, old school. He played with me on I think Miami Effect. He played an Aftershock
that
before.
Far back?
Dude, Tristan Brown. I'm pretty sure he played with me. When did Tristan play with us, Todd? Do you remember?
I didn't play with him.
Tristan Brown is old school. I mean, God, he played with us. It was a long time ago. He has a job now. He's working at Timex, doing their marketing. So good for him. He took some time off for some life stuff, like we talked about.
Yeah,
like Crunchy
sometimes.
He's
a tugboat captain.
Tugboat captain.
Tugboat captain in the Gulf.
Arr, matey.
That was Kirk Wozni for Aftershock that made that big move up the center and dove across into the Dorito. But like I was saying down here, Davey Simmons, he played on Avalanche in like I believe the 07, 08 seasons. He played for Warped Army, you know, the past little bit. But I mean, he does have some pro experience, so that's good to see that Aftershock does have a guy, you know, a guy or two that has been there.
It's interesting, like you said, though, is that we are kind of moving into this new world here in professional paintball, and where there's been a lot of personnel chaos, a lot of teams rebuilding, and some guys retiring. We'll get to that in a sec, though. Let's check out this replay first. All right, there it is right here. Here comes Aftershock, and he is on the move. Bam! Takes out Thunder, and then guns up, gets torched down. You're looking at it from the other angle here. He has no idea he's coming. Puts a little triple tap in his center of his back. And these teams are playing aggressive. I like what I'm seeing. They look athletic. They look aggressive. And we got ourselves a 2-1 game right now as Thunder is up just 1 point against Aftershock. Ton of time on the board, 14-11 left in regulation. So Todd, like I was saying here, you know, it's time to make your name. It's you know, these guys have been playing for multiple years, and they've been training for this moment. It's like, okay, now I'm on a pro team, and it's kind of wide open this season. So let's go out and let's do some work.
Yeah, and the big thing is the opportunity. You know, a lot of players, there's so many paintball players in the world, you know, and everybody grinds their heart out and, you know, the hopes and aspirations of playing pro one day, but not a whole lot of people get an opportunity, and now there's going to be a large crowd that finally has their shot.
Yeah, so 3-on-4 right now, as it looks like the advantage, slight advantage to Thunder. Thunder is in the straight black jerseys, and Aftershock is in the blue and, looks like blue and black jerseys.
You know, Seattle Thunder taking their time right here. Aftershock not in terrible position. They only have 3 players left, but they're still, I think right now they're in better field position than Seattle Thunder. Making moves though. Both teams making moves on one of the snake side. Simmons going to work out here.
These guys are, no one's afraid to be making moves right now. These guys are they're putting people in and they're going. And I really like to see that. It makes for an exciting match.
He's hitting the shoulder for sure, I think.
So Simmons over here in the 40-yard line, insert bunker right behind the snake for Aftershock, and he's going to get there into snake 1. You're looking at on your screen. So Aftershock, better field position as they have snake 1. He's going to try to get to that 50-yard line bunker.
You know, Seattle Thunder making the move to that 50 Dorito over there. Great move. He's in good field position. That's what you talked about earlier, playing that cake, Matty, on the inside of the snake. I mean, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, so Simmons makes that move, and he's in that spot. And let's see if he can get something done there. He's trying to get a shot cross field, actually into the center. And now look at this, Aftershock. And yeah, Simmons gets taken out for Aftershock. So although he was in good field position, Thunder is able to get up to that center A. They also have the 50-yard line on the Dorito side of the field. And you're looking at that, right? That's Seattle Thunder. Really good field position right now as the rain starts to come down.
Yeah, I don't think that inside jumping over the snake into that inside cake is a good move when you have players focused on you in the middle. I think it's a good move when you're dealing with players who are on the Dorito side in the far back.
Yeah,
as Aftershock tries to make a desperation run.
That's AJ Lawhead trying to make that move down here. We talked about him earlier. You're talking about one of the seasoned Aftershock players.
Well, he got seasoned up right there. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. You know, roasted up.
I like the Seattle Thunder playing that nice and slow, controlled push. They didn't get crazy. You know, they kind of played the blind spots, shot across the field. Aftershock wasn't in a terrible position, no penalties. They just kind of got a little inched out a little bit, making the inside move to that cake and that snake, Todd, like you talked about. You can't make that move when they're kind of in those field positions. That's more of a closing out, breaking the cross kind of move, you know?
Yeah, like if there's a guy in the command center and he's just focused on you, you know, then he's a couple steps away from having a good angle. You know, especially if you have a mirror in the snake or somebody in the race bunker behind the snake. But I mean, if it's a 5-on-5 game and you can jump across that, and the guys are in the can and the tall tower on the Dorito side or the corner, you know, you can kind of work on those guys a little bit. But if there's a guy in the command center or somewhere in the center of the field, then, you know, you're really giving up, you know, that advantage of being in the snake where you have a, you know, full side protection.
Yeah, and that was Jack Crimian up there in the center for Thunder. Another name, and he's playing great, you know. I mean, it's another guy we haven't really heard much about, and playing really solid for that team. And that's what it's going to be. It's like, who are going to be those guys that are going to step up for each one of these teams and be doing the work for them? You're going to need it. You need those guys. Like we talked about when we watched Crunchy come out for Dynasty, and he was stepping up on the snake side for them. Crimian stepping up in that center. He was able to get that angle and get that shot on Simmons, who was in the little cake and snake too.
Yeah, seeing Simmons play, you know, for a while now, I mean, he's a good player. He knows how to get from spot to spot, put people in and move. And, I mean, he's always in the snake, you know, trying to get those shots. The thing that I want to see him is to really break out, you know. I mean, obviously, he's now going to be one of the guys on Aftershock. So, I mean, he's got to come out here and really do some damage and win some games. If you're the front snake guy on your team, then you're responsible for the majority of the damage.
Big move with the center by Aftershock. Seattle Thunder losing one player in the break, getting up to the middle, just like you did that one game. The same play that ran up to that 50.
Hey, if it's working, keep rolling with it.
Right.
Yeah, Kirk Wozni, once again, up to that A, trying to lock off the Dorito side.
So, Todd, was he super aggressive, or when you saw him play, or was that something he's developed recently?
Well, he was a super aggressive player. I mean, we talked about it earlier. To be, you know, the best that you can be in paintball, this is an aggressive game. You have to be an aggressive player. But, I mean, you know, Aftershock, you know, really utilizing him, putting him in that position. You know, I didn't think that was going to be his game, but here he goes. We've seen him 3 times now.
And Aftershock looking real solid right now.
Yeah, I'm real happy with what I'm seeing, actually.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
3 on 5. They're in all the 50s. They're straight across the 50s right here. Now, this is kind of hard, dog. Getting across this 50, making this next move is how you break the cross.
Yeah, and I mean, they literally have 5 bodies left alive, you know, and they have every single 50-yard line bunker.
Rob Bell is right there, going down the snake. You see, that's Cody Mikowski right there in the middle of your screen. Straight up, old school, been around Aftershock for a minute. 2
Thunder,
players.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be making bumps like that when you got 5 guys at the 50-yard line running. You can't run into guns that way.
Yeah, that honestly, great play by Aftershock. Nice, slow, controlled push. They had all the 50s. They didn't rush it down the field, Matty, you know, taking their shots. Seattle Thunder were on their heels. They were on the back bunkers on that Dorado side of the field in the back center. They were kind of in a bad spot, so they weren't going to pull that one out.
No, they definitely weren't. And Aftershock needed that point. They needed to get that momentum back, and they were able to do it. And, you know, this is what we're talking about. This is very reminiscent, minus all of the crazy penalties from the very first game of the day when X Factor edged out the Ironman. And speaking of X Factor, we are going to watch them play CEP, who just got dominated by Dynasty in their first matchup 7-0. And that's coming up after this game. So right now, the score is going to be 3-2 in favor of Thunder. So we got ourselves a 1-point match with 10 minutes and 27 seconds left to go.
You know, like I said, these teams seem pretty evenly matched up as long as Aftershock can stay out of the penalty box. You know, I think Seattle's playing a little better, but I don't know. That last game, Aftershock brought it pretty hard.
Yeah, they did. And again, when you're, I love the fact these guys are just no fear whatsoever. You know, they're charging down the field. They're not doing it stupid. They're going smart. They're rolling their guns, and that's paintball the way it should be played. I would, you know, hate to be sitting here and seeing these. Oh, let's feel it out. Let's take the back spots. You know, let's see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, instead, they are doing exactly what we want to see, what I would want their coaches to be seeing, what their fans want to see, which is aggressive paintball.
Well, am I wrong, or is Mike Bruno now the head coach of Aftershock?
Mike Bruno. He has taken over the head coaching job of Aftershock. Mike Bruno, and for those of you who don't know, he is old school Aftershock. I mean,
as old school as it gets.
Yeah, he was when Aftershock was winning all the turns. Todd, you played with Mike Bruno, I think.
I did, absolutely.
So I mean, that was a long time ago, man.
Well, what I'm getting at here is, Mike Bruno is one of those guys that was responsible for the majority of those wins. Mike Bruno, Billy Saransky, those type of guys. That crew. This is the way Mike Bruno plays paintball.
Yeah, no, straight up.
Aggressive.
Absolutely.
So that could be really, really good for them. And there goes Kirk Wozni again, all the way out to the tall temple, gets in there alive. So that's 4 times we've seen Wozni bolting down the field.
Yeah, they're really utilizing him for, again, apparently what's possible out of his play. And it looks like it's 4-on-5 right now in favor of Seattle Thunder. It's the Seattle Thunder doubling up on the Dorito side and then getting out to that back bunker. So they have a pretty conservative spread here, except for up in the center. They got really good field position up in the center. It looks like he wants to go, too. You're looking at on your screen right now, looking at Seattle Thunder. They have that back bunker there on the Dorito side of the field. And look at the body language. You can see he's wrapping around that stand-up can. Oh, now he's back down on his knee, so maybe he's got put in a little bit. Now you're looking at the opposite side. That's Aftershock, and he definitely wants to make a move.
Yeah, there's a little window for that, Matty. That guy to shoot him, he's looking to go to that 50 drill, like you said. If he makes, once you get the field on him over there, Seattle Thunder, there's a small window for him to shoot him. He can make that, just like right there. He has a small window to get in there.
And he finally made it up there, and we saw Knight. You just flashed on your screen there on the Snake side of the field. Now you're looking at the Dorito side of the field. And in pretty good field position, but he's getting pinched out right now. He's getting pinched, not pinched out. Oh, yeah, he actually did get pinched out. So you saw there, look at that angle right there. Knight able to, looks like possibly get a shot over the edge of that little blocker bunker. And now Knight wants to come around and get in the Snake.
Losing bodies horribly right now.
Or Thunder. Or I'm sorry, Aftershock.
CEP lost 2 bodies. I mean, not CEP.
Aftershock.
Sorry. Aftershock right there, losing bodies. And also, you have Seattle Thunder coming up on that Dorito side, lost 2 bodies, one right after another. So now it's a 3-on-2 situation, I think.
Well, what I'm seeing over here, too.
3-on-3.
What I'm seeing from Thunder is Aftershock only sent 1 body out to the Snake side. And that guy died quickly, and the back center had to fill. Nobody has been locking off the Snake side. And both of the Thunder players have been sitting in the back corner and the race bunker behind the Snake until just now. There was no pressure on them. They're not playing aggressively on the Snake side of the field at all. I mean, like G.I. Joe said, knowing is half the battle. You got to recognize where you have the advantage and use that.
What a move by Aftershock, coming all the way from the back corner to the 50 Dorito, taking out a Seattle Thunder player. Now it's a 2-on-1 situation.
Yeah, so right now Thunder is in the driver's seat, 2-on-1 as they've turned the field, and he's still alive though.
They need to talk and work this out and not go running into this guy's gun and make it a one-on-one.
It's Knight and Bierman right now for Seattle Thunder.
Anytime you're in a situation, if you're the one and you're looking at 2 bodies, I'm begging for somebody to try to come at me. I want that guy to try to engage me instead of talk to his boy and then try to work it out and spread the field. I want you to run at me because then I can take you out and then turn it into a one-on-one.
Aftershock losing that battle right there. Good job on Seattle Thunder splitting the field, Todd, Matty. So many times you see them, like you said, run into guns. And they don't, they both get shot or something crazy and ends up in a one-on-one. I think they both went really nice and slow. They took their time, they split the field, and got the angles.
Yeah, nice job. And this is a really close match. As we saw that particular point, Thunder able to steal it from Shock. Shock was trying to take it back. But so now Thunder's going to go up 2 points here. Its score be 4-2.
But still, I got to give it to that Shock player. All the way from the back corner, all the way to the 50 Dorito. Smoking the Seattle Thunder player in his mirror right there, and then making it up from a 3-on-1 and do a 2-on-1. And
I really like what I'm seeing out of these teams. Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing. I'm impressed that Thunder is able to come in and not play tentative. They've been going right at Aftershock. Aftershock bringing it right to Thunder as well. Now, they're winning this match as they're up 2 points, but it's still anyone's game, especially the way that these points have been going down. 7 minutes and 34 seconds left. Also interesting, I think these guys watch those first couple games and realize, hey, the refs are not joking around this year, and we're going to be getting hawk-eyed, so let's play clean. And except for that major penalty out the gate, but I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, Aftershock.
It's a way to just
Mikey
get
Bruno's
coaching
Aftershock. Aftershock. Might as well just start with major.
If you don't go out there and get a major penalty, I'm going to punch you.
Yeah, they're reading pages out of all the classes of the Mike Bruno School of Paintball.
Oh, that's hilarious. But you got to give it to Mike. He's won so many major titles, been in the game for so long.
Such a legendary player. When we're talking about, one day there will be a Hall of Fame, and Mikey will be one of those guys that gets in on the first vote. You know,
absolutely. He's been in the game for a minute, man. So hats off to him. He's one of my very good friends. One of all our very good friends.
Yeah. In fact, I think the whole reason fields are netted now is because of Mikey Bruno.
They want to enclose him. Enclose them in the area so you can't go jump in the lake and swim up behind the players and shoot them in the back.
We've all made our contributions to the sport over the years, you know.
Yeah, you can say that again.
One of the things that he did was ensure the fact that we do need netting around the fields.
All right, so you're looking at a 2-point game right now. Thunder up against Aftershock. Score is 4-2, and timeout called. Next up, we have X Factor is going to be taking on CEP, and CEP needs to get something going in that game as they got skunked by Dynasty 7-0. X Factor on the flip side of that, able to take an incredibly close match against the Ironman, and it couldn't have been a better way to start out the season. In case you guys are just tuning in, I'm Matty Marshall. I'm up here with Chris Lasoya and Todd Martinez, both multi-time world champions, going to be helping us out all year long here in the commentary booth. And also, Todd is coaching Infamous, and you guys are coming up in the afternoon bracket. Todd, how do you guys feel about the new year? Complete rebuild for you guys, pretty much.
Complete rebuild, but it's not like some of these teams that we've seen so far where they got like a lot of young players. We basically grabbed 5 new guys. The first 2 we got at World Cup this year, and Damian, Ryan, and Brad McCurley, 2 guys that are have had a fair amount of experience. And now we picked up Zach Patient, Chris Sosine, and Drew Templeton, and they're all really smart players. I like the fact that they're all athletic. They're all from the same area, so they all get to practice together. But they're all smart players. They've all had experience. They've all played on various teams around the Midwest: Vicious, Legend, Aftershock. These guys, they're a good crew. And they've been taking some licks now for the past 4 years, 5 years in the pro division. So these guys do have that big game experience. So I do feel comfortable putting a lot of pressure on them, giving them a lot of responsibility, and letting them be free and play and continue to invent themselves as top tier pro players. So it's going to be an exciting season for us. I have extremely high hopes, and I think that we're going to come out here. We got a great game to start against Damage in the afternoon, and what a better way to kick off our season.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get the best right away. Damage coming off a huge World Cup win, really big, a big achievement for that team. It's been, so solid for so many years. They've won tournaments, but to, assemble the troops the way they did, it's gonna be a great afternoon. All right, so here we go. Aftershock.
Good Aftershock, going up the middle, hardcore. I love seeing that double A move right there. In the face.
I was gonna say they both made it alive, but one of them getting taken out there. Off the right side of that, he didn't get anyone. It looks like he was. Looks like Thunder able to make 5 bodies out alive.
And that surprised me. The way they were coming up like that, splitting the guns, I was really expecting to get a G out of that.
He made that alive. Too. Yes. He made it into that spot. He didn't get shot till he got there, and that's something. Is if I'm the team and I'm watching this, we haven't seen a guy get shot off the break go up to the A in the center of the field yet.
I walked the field earlier. There's so much stuff in the way. That's my kind of move. Go up the middle right there. It's not that difficult of a move, but you got to capitalize on it. You got to get that kill in the break. If you don't, then you're obviously in a bad position, and you get he has nowhere to go.
If you don't get the kill, then your teammates have to play off of it. As we see Nico Perry come down here to the race bunker behind the snake, Thunder, they have the opportunities to get into the snake. They shot the guy off that side. The next closest guy is the back center. Their snake corner is looking towards the inside. They had a few good opportunities to get into that snake, and they're just not taking advantage of it.
Well, Cody's going to look to get up in here right now. He's a sneaky little. He's sneaky. He'll get up in here, get in a snake, and he'll do some work.
Yeah, and Nico right now, I think he's listening to his guys. But yeah, like you said, Todd, at this level of play, the windows are so small, and you got to take advantage of those windows. You see a move, if nobody's putting you in, try to make that move. Err on the side of aggression, like we always say.
Yeah. There goes Cody making that move up here.
Yeah, Cody's basically out there. He's got the one guy behind him, but he's looking to be aggressive and come towards that snake.
But there's nothing stopping him right now. There's no reason for him not to be in the snake. They're all looking to Dorito's side, every one of them. Well, not anymore, but for that split second.
Yeah, no, for like we talked about though. Those are the windows we're talking about. But
they are right now.
But it's about thinking past your immediate job. Yes, you need to do that job, but then go off of that. Do so if you're doing it, it's like we always said. Here's your job. This is your job. Once you're doing your job, then get past that as well. You know, if I'm holding this lane down and that lane, my guy's in, look around, try to wrap around real quick, and if you see that move, then take it.
Yeah. And this is where communication, plays such a big factor. Your back guys, Aftershock split across the whole back line. They were alive. And, they need to be communicating with each other and telling each other what they see. Thunder had the position. They had the bodies. They had the guys in the back, too, to tell the front players where to go. And the front players are still camped out shooting as Nico Perry finally gets into the snake.
Yeah, and talk about finally. I mean, it's 5-on-3 right now, Todd. So, I mean, Nico could have been in this snake a little bit earlier. But, again, Nico Perry, 15 years old, playing pro here. And he's already looking pretty good. And you see now he's cutting to the inside cake right there at the snake 2.
It's turned into a bloodbath. A lot of Seattle Thunder players walking off. I think it's a 3-on-2 Seattle Thunder.
It was Chris, didn't mean to interrupt, but it was 5-on-3, and then they lost 2 bodies right now. So it looks like
2-on-2. Actually, no. Thunder still has a player in the Dorito side corner. So 3-on-2 in favor of Thunder. Both players on the snake side for Aftershock.
This is a good Cody Mikowski move. Watch, he's going to shoot inside. He's going to shoot inside. He's going to run down the field and blow this guy's head off.
Oh, looks like, Nico Perry just narrowly avoiding getting hit. Looks like he dodged that one at the last second. He's looking at 2 bodies over.
Getting shot. 2-on-2 situation. Cody Mikowski's going to get in the snake right here. Watch this. He's going to wrap this corner.
Yeah.
On your screen, he's going to wrap it. He's going to go right down the tape. He doesn't realize only 2 players left.
Yeah, I was going to say, nothing's stopping him at this point.
Good job by Cody.
Damage control trying to be done by Thunder. And here comes Cody Mikowski. Nice job by Cody. And a major penalty on Cody. That's going to sting because that might take the last Aftershock player off the field.
I think 2 penalties were assessed there. I think A.J. Lawhead got a minor, and I think Cody got a major on that.
Wow, that's a heartbreaker for Aftershock because they were winning that point, and they're down points right now. So, unfortunately, that's going to burn them.
Especially because Olsevic knew that both players were on this side of the field, came across to the temple, and looked across at the Dorito side when the Aftershock player filled back around. But you can't just give your whole back to the snake side guy over here. I mean, fortunately, the Thunder player on the Dorito side made a good move to shoot Cody. But, I mean, that's a tough shot from that 50 Dorito over here into the snake. So
yeah, real tough shot.
I think Cody, I'm sorry, I think Cody actually got shot when he not dove in, but he was in snake 1. And I think that he got clipped because he kind of did a little jump. And I think that's when he got clipped and he came up a little further, shot the guy in the pack. But I think he was actually hit when he was going up doing that.
Yeah, and you saw Nico Perry get shot out of his bunker, and you could see by his body language he knew he lost that gunfight, made that mental error. But at that point, he's trying to get some production because he's the only one in any sort of position to kill anybody, and he was starting to lose bodies in droves off that other side of the field. And when that starts happening, if I'm in Snake 1 and I look back and I see 2 bodies walk off the Dorito, we ain't got anybody over here anymore, it's time to giddy up because if I don't get something done on this side, we're going to lose the point.
Well, and keep in mind there, everybody died that point, so nobody got a point in that game. But Aftershock's coming right now back with a major. I think they have 2 majors, actually. I'm not really sure. And looking at the board right now, that's what I'm seeing. I think we got a lot of listeners at home, paintballaccess.com. I know most of my family's watching a new thing coming out, Maddie. My girl's at home. Wanted to send her a shout-out, tell Candy I love you very much, honey. Miss you.
Yeah, and you guys are getting married in a couple months.
I'm very excited, actually. May 13th, the date.
Cancun. Wow. Well,
Can't
that would
wait.
be like you to go to Cancun.
Absolutely.
To get married.
Mexico!
Hey-o! nah.
You boys like Mexico?
Hey, I'm telling you, we're going to be drinking the whole time. I love her to death. Thank you very much for all your support, honey.
Well, look at this across the way, up on the board right now. 2 major penalties, it looks like, was assessed on Aftershock in that last point, and that's going to be a heartbreaker if you're Mikey Bruno sitting in there because they were fighting back and really trying to stay in this match, and that really burns them now that they're going to have to play with 3 bodies for pretty much the rest of this match.
Well, what we saw it earlier with the Ironman. Was it Ironman or CP? No, it wasn't CP. It was
the first
Ironman.
game?
The first game.
Ironman X
Factor. The Bloody Knuckles game.
Yeah.
But we talked about it. We were like, it's hard to come back from this. But they did. That was a gnarly game.
They just basically got to burn. It's tough, though, because they're down 2 points. The score is 2-4. And even if they burn that 2 points, they're going to have to then, if they burn the 2 minutes off, if they burn the 2 minutes off the clock and score the point, then they'll be 1 point down with about 1 minute and 14 seconds left. And the way that these guys have been playing, they can definitely score a point in a minute and 14 seconds, especially if they double up that A again.
Right. I like the aggressive play that Mike Bruno is making Aftershock do right now.
Well, it's exciting. This is the way you're supposed to play paintball.
It's really good paintball right now.
Exactly.
Well, the thing about being aggressive is that you can be over-aggressive. And if you're over-aggressive, and it could cost you. But we haven't seen it really cost them a whole lot, the games where they've taken those big bites. The one guy got shot on the opposite side of the A, but Thunder didn't really jump to that advantage and really shove it down their throats because of that. Aftershock is a little, just a
great move. I love this right here. I love this right here.
The snake off the break for Aftershock.
Awesome.
Off again.
I love it. And then getting clipped. Got to get a little tighter. Velez getting up there, but still, he's in the 50 snake on a 3-on-5 situation.
Let's see if Simmons can do something with this.
He just shuts him down for a minute. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah, again, all they got to do is, it would be helpful if they win this point, because to try to score 2 points in a minute and 14 seconds is a tall order. But if Simmons,
he's the only player alive right now.
Yeah, look at this. The guy that runs the snake off the break ends up being the only player left alive.
Unbelievable.
Well, maybe Simmons can pull off a minor miracle here.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. So that's.
Hey, you got to give it to him, though. I mean, hats off. Aftershock getting aggressive. You know what? I'm a fan. I like that.
Yeah.
Get up in there.
I'm a fan of Aftershock.
Yeah,
I've always been a fan of Aftershock, but I like what these new players are bringing. They're bringing aggression. There's no fear whatsoever. They're coming out as hard as possible. And yeah, they're getting some penalties and they're trying to feel things out. But I think that, if they think about this long term as the year progresses, they got some talent on this team.
Well, those penalties were kind of silly, So, I mean, they're just like a couple breaks away from that being wildly successful.
Absolutely.
Because if they're going to continue to take those risks, make those spots, and be successful with that, not get those penalties, and then learn to play with each other more, learn to play off those moves a little bit better, we could see, something crazy from Aftershock.
Like you said, it takes a little bit of time to gel. And so many of these teams have new players. And to gel really takes, I don't care how good a individual players you are, it takes time to mesh with the personalities and know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's check out this replay here from that last point. All right, let's look at Aftershock. Just 3 players alive. And you're going to look at Simmons. Look at Simmons dig all the way to the snake. That kid is fast. He gets in there into snake 1 off the break, and he ended up being the only player left alive. And as he lost his boys behind him. But I'll tell you what, that's impressive. To make a call like that,
yep.
I mean, it's interesting. We are seeing the personality of Mikey Bruno come through in these game plans, because that's Aftershock. That's old school hard knuckle Aftershock paintball right there. Oh, there's 3 of us left. You're going to snake off the break, kid, and make it. That's awesome. That's good to see.
Well, it's good too to have a young crew around him, of younger players, because they're gonna listen to him. If he says, "Hey, we're playing 3-on-5 and you're going to the snake on the break," he's not gonna get an argument. They're just gonna be like, "All right, okay, let's do it." And then when stuff like that starts to work, then they start to believe.
Yeah,
that builds confidence.
Absolutely.
Again,
that's a really good point.
Oh, dipping and diving. Combat roll.
Kirk Wozni does the combat
roll. It's coming down here. Rain. Even the cameras are crying right now. The rain's starting to come down a little heavier.
Rain is starting to come down sideways here in Galveston, and you're watching Aftershock take on a very impressive Thunder right now.
Man, I feel sorry for these guys playing in the rain. I mean,
and it's sideways. The rain is coming down sideways.
It's very windy out here in Galveston. The rain's coming down. I'm sure my girl is sitting at home right now sipping on Slizzer.
And look at this, Nico Perry. So Nico Perry, the 15-year-old phenom coming out of the Pacific Northwest, is able to hang that flag. And with a minute and 41 seconds left, it's really looking like this game, I think it's straight up going to Thunder. But I'll tell you what, look at this. Thunder comes in playing a legendary team that's on a rebuild, given, that being said. But still, I'm becoming a fan of both of these teams right now by watching the way they're playing paintball.
Absolutely. I definitely want to see the next couple games, that Thunder and Aftershock play when they play some other teams, see their matchups and, see how they play out, see if what they're doing is working against other teams, So
Yeah.
it's a good indicator, it's a good start for what we have so far.
I think it's going to be interesting to see, too, as you get to – now, I'm not taking anything away from Thunder, but we know we haven't seen a lot of them. So I don't know how good they are at laning, I think that as far as, let's say they play a Dynasty or they play a Damage when you're going against – or any of the teams that have that really solid guy off the break, the Chris Hookers from Vicious, the Dave Baines from Damage, the Mike Paxtons, those guys that are really good, the Travis Lemanskis from Infamous. I'm interested to see if they're going to be able to run around like wild maniacs like they are doing right now against those really solid guns.
I wouldn't call that running, really.
Well, they were before until the combat roll.
Yeah, that was. Oh, you're talking about running against those guys.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Travis and those guys running.
Oh, no.
It's more of a trot.
The gallop.
Well, that's
All right, so as the Galveston rain starts to come down here, you're looking at Aftershock on your screen right now as they're fighting against a pretty strong Seattle Thunder, who looks like they're going to take their first W of the year in this matchup. Do not go anywhere after this. We have X Factor and CEP going to be playing their second game of the tournament. X Factor won a bloodbath game against the Ironmen, and we couldn't have started the year off in a better fashion, as that game was a 7-6 crazy, insane match. And then directly after the X Factor CEP game, we're going to have the Ironmen take on Aftershock, and I'm interested to see again, with Aftershock, with these really bold, dynamic off-the-break moves. I mean, doubling up the A off in the center, sending a guy to the snake when they're down, when they only have 3 bodies. I mean, these are really bold off-the-break moves. They're going to go against those heavy guns of the Ironman in that backfield and the Mike Paxton. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup, too. And then Dynasty's going to be taking on Thunder after that. And then after that game, we're going to be moving into the afternoon bracket. So tons of great paintball coming at you this afternoon and the rest of this morning. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm Matty Marshall. I'm up here with Chris Lasoya and Todd Martinez, both multi-time world champions, going to be with us all year long here on the webcast.
I think they might be calling it a break here. I see the teams walking to the field. They had 30 seconds left, and now they're walking off the field.
Timeout probably called.
I don't know if there's a timeout. I think that it was a ref thing.
Might be a little technical timeout here. They're definitely not calling it a timeout because of the weather, because barring like major thunderstorms or tornadoes, you're going to be playing no matter what the weather is, and that's just part of pro paintball.
And I was just going to say, I think it's getting a little lighter out. It might be getting, but I didn't want to jinx. I didn't even say it.
You totally jinxed us, Chris.
Yeah, whatever.
I think it's inevitable.
I think the sun is peeking out.
Oh, there it went. It left.
That's so funny. I got to say though, it's might be raining, but we're having a good time.
Yeah.
First term of the year.
We're seeing what these new teams are bringing.
We've only had 2-3 games. This is the 3rd game, and it's just been awesome. So I mean, the second game with Dynasty and CEP was kind of unfortunate for CEP.
CEP struggled against Dynasty as they got skunked 7-0, and that youthful squad coming out of Chattanooga just not able to get it done against a really strong Dynasty with some new additions. And in case you're again just tuning in, Dynasty had they lost Mouse, Alex Goldman, and they also lost Stephen Pitts, but they picked up Zach Wake, Sean Crunchy McDonald, and Rusty Glaze as well too. So I think those were really smart moves for them, and they're playing out. They played out well. I thought Crunchy played really strong. Wake was a little hit or miss over here on the Snake side, which he can be, but he's such a phenom that when he's on. But that's one of the things I'd like to see Wake become a little bit more consistent as he progresses through his career.
Andy Horvath actually had a couple good points for Dynasty as well. Playing kind of that role position in that can on the Dorito side, but he was alive. We didn't see him get shot silly. He got in there, did his job, moved up the field, to finish some games out. So, I don't know. We've seen some pretty good paintball this morning, some crazy stuff, a lot of penalties, and, it's just moving forward. I can't wait to see what else is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, can't wait till the afternoon division. I mean, this afternoon, a lot of unanswered questions with these teams. The Russians lost 3 of their best players. They picked up Marcelo Margot, who is coming off a knee injury. And apparently he 2 blown knees. And go to paintballaccess.com, read Marcelo's story. It's pretty heart-wrenching, actually, and actually very inspiring. That's what I got out of it. And I heard Marcelo's been just dominating in practice. So it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to be able to do with Kirill Pridny, who's, one of their, veterans who's been around for so long and, always one of the, solidest players on that squad. And, again, some other unanswered questions. You got Infamous, like we talked about with Todd. Infamous has picked up a bunch of players that used to play for Aftershock last year, and so a new core for that team. And then we got the new kids on the block, Houston Heat and 187, 2 completely opposing views on how to build a professional paintball team. On one hand, you got Upton 187, dominating in the divisional ranks, earned their spot in the professional division by beating people up for a couple seasons. And they're all homegrown talent, the best crew from Massachusetts, from Upton. They picked the hardest guys they could find out of their area, and they went with them. So I'm interested to see what they're going to be able to do. And their first match at 1:30 Central Standard Time is going to be against the Russians. So what better way to start off your professional PSP career than play the Russians?
Might as well do it all the way to the snake again on the break. Aftershock, I love seeing that.
Well, in the rain, that's a really good move because
you can slide so much further.
As the conditions get really nasty, it becomes and he gets taken out once he made it in there. So unfortunate turn of events for Aftershock as they made it in the snake off the break, but just tried Simmons a little too far. But look at this, immediately Phil right again. Aftershock into the 50-yard line snake, and he gets shot from the same spot, same guy.
He's just dropping it over top of the snake, Matty.
Well, here's the thing: is that what these guys have. Obviously they didn't walk the field as well as they should have because, Thunder has been going to that command center over and over and over again and locking off that snake side of the field. And these guys keep running straight to that little 50 spot. In that 50 spot, he has a clear shot. That guy is pretty tall. He has a clear shot straight down on that 50 little race wedge. If either one of those Aftershock guys were to just turn that corner and hug that inside of those snake beams, they could have crawled all the way down to the edge, basically like the tall cake spot, area of that snake, and shot that guy to bits.
Yep. I mean, or even that, play the backside of the snake. I mean, you have some good shots. You can use that tall cake to block out the inside.
It's a big bunker.
It's huge.
It's not about the 50-yard line snake. Use what you got.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, minor penalty on Roth, number 47, Seattle Thunder.
I saw Roth get shot in that loader. I wasn't sure if it broke or not, but
But
there's no reason to be playing on right now.
Yeah, no reason to be playing on. I mean, look at this. 3 seconds left, and Aftershock's going to get this point. It's not going to be enough, actually, with 1 second left in the match. So the win's going to go to Thunder, and they played great. But I think what we can take away from this game is that, both Aftershock and Thunder came to play some pro paintball this year.
Absolutely. And you know what? Then the reason they're running that, I mean, it might not seem like a lot to you guys at home to run that flag in with 3 seconds left, but when it comes down to points, in case you guys don't know, win is 2 points on the board. And when you do win, you get a plus or minus. Like, let's say if it's 7-0.
Break that down for people that don't understand, because that's so crucial when it comes to moving on in this tournament.
Absolutely. Like the Dynasty CEP game. Dynasty won that game, which means they have 2 points. They won by 7 points because it was 7-0. So now that with a win, they're 2 points plus 7. It's similar to like hockey. So you look at it, right now they're plus 7, and CEP's minus 7. So they have no points, and they're minus 7. So they're going to have to dig themselves out of that hole to become on the plus side. So in other words, they got to win their next game by 7 points to get back to plus 0, or plus or minus 0. So I mean, it's a relatively easy way to keep people from having stalemates at the end of the day because there's always plus minus.
Absolutely.
So what Aftershock is trying to do to get they're going to be a negative after this game, but they want to be as little negative as possible, if that makes sense to anybody at home. So instead of being -4, they're probably a -3.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept. You just want to win as large as you possibly can because, you're playing 4 games, and there's not only a certain amount of teams in your division, so you want to have as big of a point spread as possible. So Dynasty looking great as they got that plus 7. So congratulations to Thunder as they win their first match here at Galveston Open.
And they looked impressive. I'm not going to lie. They, I was pretty impressed with both teams. I mean, Aftershock, It would have been a better game if they wouldn't have had those 2 majors, for sure.
Well, Aftershock couldn't have played any more entertaining paintball.
Oh, it was awesome. Sure. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, I'm really digging Mikey Bruno's coaching calls. I mean, they're just running all over the place.
I love the aggressive play.
Yeah, doubling up the A in the center, taking the snake off the break, and then refilling it when he gets shot. But it's the little things. They got to go a little step further. You know, we saw a lot of guys making those spots and then just getting shot out of them. Even that double up A move earlier on in the match. So yeah, congratulations to Seattle Thunder as they take a game here against Chicago Aftershock, and you look at that, just they got to be happy, and they should be, to start off this tournament with the W. But next up, we have X Factor taking on CEP, and CEP really needs to kind of figure out what went wrong in that Dynasty matchup, and as nothing really went right for them as they got skunked 7-0. And then X Factor on the flip side, X Factor